Alright, so I want to talk about what just happened. And yes, I'm smoking a cigarette. I know it doesn't look like a cigarette. I swear it is. I roll my own by hand. But anyway, organic tobacco. Get used to me saying the word organic a lot because I'm obsessed. Anyways, so I was stopping at the gas station to get my organic Sumatra coffee. And I remember the last time I went, they gave me a rewards card. They're like, you buy coffee here, a couple times a week. You might as well get one of these cards. I'm like, yeah, okay. So you just got to register online. I'm like, yeah, okay. I've actually bought coffee like 2 times since then. I'm like, yeah, still haven't registered that thing yet. So I'm sitting in the parking lot before I go in. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to register that card. I'm going to sit here, get it all connected to my email and all that. I'm trying not to get the app. I don't know why. I'm just like, I just want it signed up. I don't need an app for coffee. So I do it through my email. And while I'm sitting there, I hear like a thud. I look over. There's this lady getting out of her vehicle. She's parked really close to me. She kind of smiles. She kind of banged my van a little bit. And I'm like, yeah. At first I was like, oh, cool. She hit my van and she's smiling about it. And as she's walking, she waves. And then she stops and she waves again. And I'm like, do I know her? So I roll my window down and she's like, I just wanted to share that I'm 60 days breast cancer free. And I'm like, wow, congratulations. That's really cool. And she's telling me about it and that and I don't know. We had quite a conversation. It was beautiful. And she asked me she mentioned something about depression and anxiety, that's something her and her daughter struggle with, and that it seems like she's on this mission to kind of brighten people's days. I cried, by the way. But I'm trying not to cry now. So she seems to be on this mission to brighten people's days, and she's got tie-dye mask, and she's got just such good vibes. And she asked me if I'm at all familiar with depression and anxiety, and I'm like, actually, yeah. She's like, and I'm like, and it's an interesting coincidence, kind of unrelated, but that I'm also, celebrating a special 60 days. And she's like, really? She's like, what is it? I'm like, well, I'm 60 days alcohol free. She's like, well, good for you. That's something that I don't understand, but I do know there's a struggle, and you're right. It's, depression and anxiety are definitely part of that. And we keep talking, and she's just got such a good vibe. And, it made me so happy. We exchanged numbers and emails. And, she asked, she's like, I just want to make sure, are you okay? She's like, do you have kids? Are you safe? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I do have kids and I am safe and I appreciate, your concern. And she's like, she's like, if there's anything I can help you, she's like, I've been doing a lot of research about, depression and anxiety. And she's like, she asked if I was in AA and getting coins and stuff. And I was like, well, no. She's like, well, when oh, hold on, let's see if I can get it on video. There's a little bunny under my, there's a little bunny. What's up, bunny? Little bunny under my van. I don't know if I'm actually getting it on camera, but let's see. Oh, he's under my van. Anyway. And she's like, every time I went and got one of my cancer treatments, I would take one of these hair crayons and I would do a different streak of color in my hair. And by the time I was done, I had all these different colors in my hair. And she's like, it washes out, so I don't have it now. But she's like, it was my way of celebrating, that I did it. My way of, how did she put it? Something like confirming on the inside, confirming what's going on the inside, on the outside. And, she seemed to be very excited to share, and excited to celebrate, which is so important. I was just learning about how important it is to celebrate these things and share that energy with other people. And then she asked what it is what helps me. And I said, well, I don't really have a group or anything. I've got a small circle of support, and that I've been, diving into research on, our mindset and, how to maintain a more positive mindset and how our brain works. And as soon as I got to how our brain works, she's like, that is so very interesting, because my daughter is going to school for neurology. It would be interesting to connect you guys, and if you have any questions, see if she can help you, And so it's just so crazy. What a coincidence, right? And like our conversation went from like in the parking lot, we walked in, I held the door for her and we were talking. We're talking where the donuts are. There's people trying to get donuts. So I'm like, had to move out of the way. And there's somebody mopping behind me and I didn't know. And she's like, oh, you might want to. And then like right as she said that, the guy who was mopping didn't see me. He bumped into me with the mop. I thought that was kind of funny. So we're just like standing there like talking and like everybody's just like carrying on their own things, I felt like we, how do I explain this? I felt like we were in like a different reality in that moment, like meeting and celebrating and talking about all this stuff, having never met this person before. And I felt like we were in this like separate reality from everybody else, their routine, and it broke me out of my routine. I'm like, I'm just here to get coffee. I had no idea, I was going to be walking into such a wonderful conversation and a new friend. I haven't made a friend like that in a very long time. And so I'm excited. I hope, she did mention something about drinking decaf now. So I don't know if inviting her out for a coffee or something sometime would be ideal, but I don't know. It's just one of those moments that make me really aware of the fact that I do often put myself in the right place in the right time, even though I might not be aware of it. Like I was just sitting there, like if I would have walked in any moment sooner, she wouldn't have bumped into I wouldn't have been in the van when she was getting out and bumped into my van, and I wouldn't have been there to look at her. She wouldn't have smiled back at me. I wouldn't have been sitting there. I would have been getting my coffee or already on my way out, or maybe already have left. Had I not been sitting there like, okay, I gotta register this coffee card. And I did it the long, hard way because I didn't want to get the app. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So, yeah, it's silly that I took, 8 minutes to say that, but I just wanted to share. I'm probably not going to post this. I don't know, maybe, but this little bunny is just still all hopping around over here. Look at him. I don't know if you can see him or not. I can't tell. He's just hopping around the driveway. Cute little baby bunny. But yeah. So I just wanted to share that. Universe puts us where we need to be. And even in the moments where we feel like we're not where we want to be, you gotta find how you gotta connect those dots. You gotta take negatives and turn them into positives. You've gotta celebrate. And you've gotta celebrate. We gotta sing, we gotta dance. She said something about like her daughter was like, I wanted to get you like a, journal. She's like, I saw this bucket list journal, but she's like, I don't know. She's like, I feel like that's kind of offensive. So she's like, I got you an unbucket list. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, it's things that you've always wanted to do, but you haven't done yet. I guess, instead of bucket list being like, oh, here's the stuff you want to do before you die. It's a little more friendly. She's like, I've always wanted to tie-dye. I love tie-dye. I've never done tie-dye. And I'm like, you know what? It's interesting because I bought a tie-dye kit to do with my kids, and we still haven't done it either. And, I've noticed a big theme. Side thought. Maybe we should do tie-dye together, since she mentioned it. But I've noticed this theme this year. I've been noticing this lesson that's been repeating itself in different places, is that everything's got an expiration date. Everything has like a time limit, a deadline. And I have spent a good portion of the last year or so procrastinating and ignoring those deadlines, thinking it doesn't matter when it does. I put off getting my new driver's license. It expired on my birthday in January. I put it off until just a few days ago. And she's like, oh, good thing you didn't wait too much longer. If you were to wait 6 months, you would have had to take the driver's test again. I'm like, oh, God, yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do that again. And, you know, keeping in mind that it's been the last 2 months where I've been really focusing my attention on having a better mindset and pushing myself out of my comfort zone to get closer to living a better life and reaching my goals and providing a better life for my boys and making a more positive impact in general. These have been huge for me, and that a lot of things do have time limits. It's probably everything, you know. I buy produce, and then if I don't use that produce, it's gonna go into the compost. Seems silly, especially with how expensive organic is. Because if you know me well enough, then you know. Like, that's the only one I want. If they don't have organic bananas, we don't eat bananas that week. Because the other stuff's full of crap. And I can taste the difference between an organic banana and a non-organic banana. And if you don't believe me and you want to bring me a banana of each kind and test it in front of me, I could even be blindfolded. I could tell you which one is the garbage banana and which one is the organic banana, I promise. But anyway, so all these deadlines and expiration dates, and how many times, like, I've told myself, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that another day. Like, no. And it's interesting to find this balance between, like, so I guess there is a, like, connection between procrastinating and there's, like, this one of the chemicals released in your brain that, like, gives you this extra boost of energy to, like, really get something done when you're getting close to that deadline. You know, I mean, I guess you probably got to, like, care that deadline's coming, know that deadline's coming, and be like, I don't want to miss that deadline. And you get this, like, boost of energy. And that's something I've noticed since high school is, like, I would have, you know, a month to do a big project. And then that week, I'm like, a week before it's due, I'm like, I got to get to that project. And I'll think about it real hard for a couple days. And then I'm like, oh shit, I got like a day or two. This whole project's due. I got like maybe a slightest bit of brainstorming, you know, mapping out of my project. But the bulk of the work is not done yet. And then what do? Pull an all-nighter. Exhaust myself to get it done. And, but, like, sleep is so important. Sleep is so very important. However, sometimes you really do need to sacrifice it to make something happen. But if you are constantly sacrificing your sleep, you are not living a quality life. If you are on a screen, or you have screens in front of you between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., you are doing damage to yourself. Serious damage to yourself. And this is something that I was doing October, November, December, January, February. I don't know, yeah, probably about 6 months when I was playing video games. It was probably the worst of my health. Poor diet, eating, you know, snack, junk food. I was excited because it would be my alone time, but I was doing absolutely nothing productive with that time. I was enjoying myself, sure. I was riding dinosaurs. In a game called Ark, which is very epic. I think about it pretty often, but right around the same time I quit drinking, I quit playing Ark. All my dinos died. That's okay. But I spent, you know, months, like, building this castle. Tamed hundreds of wild dinosaurs. You can breed them and, like, the babies have different colors based on like the parents' colors. You like mix their colors. They all have different abilities, and you can like ride most of them. Have them follow you, have them attack things and protect you. It's like cool. Whole world of dinosaurs. But then like it's like I realized like that whole world does not matter to like my whole world reality of like who I am and what I'm trying to do with my life and why I'm here. Me riding dinosaurs didn't help my kids. Like, sure, actually, Xylan thought it was cool. Like, he could identify most of those dinosaurs. He knew, like, the sounds they make and everything. From, you know, all of his prior dino research. I was a dino-obsessed kid, so it kind of influenced that. I still am. But, you know, I got other shit to do. This has definitely turned out to be way longer and way off topic than I expected, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to log this moment, my video journal, and that it was just magical to meet somebody who we had so many similarities and can appreciate differences and just like, hey, hi, like, let's be friends. It inspires me to want to do that. And just be more aware when I'm in public, because I've definitely been like a zombie. When I'm in public, I'm like, okay, I'm only here for the coffee. I'm only here for my groceries. I don't want to be here. That's not a good mindset at all. Should be celebrating every chance I get to celebrate and help other people celebrate everything that they have to celebrate. Because the way I feel right now is pretty phenomenal. And all it took was a woman parked too close to my van and bumped into it with her door. That's where it started. And it actually started off with me being like, oh, she just hit my van with her door. Quickly let it go, though. And it was honestly one of the most beautiful random conversations I've had in a very long time. Very appreciative, and can't wait to reach out to her. Might give her like a day or so, because I don't want to be like, oh, hey, you're so cool, like, come hang out. But, yeah. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day.